Hi and welcome to Transition Vision. Today we're going to talk about a topic that is one of the highlights of transition year, but is also a compulsory element for many. This topic is work experience. Now with us today are our three panellists, Louise Morenin, Gina Canny and Kristen Savridis. And they're here to answer our questions on TY work experience. We're also going to touch on the subject of community service at the end. Now to start off, Louise, what exactly is work experience?
Well, basically, work experience is when we're given 3 weeks out of the school and you can go into any career that you want. It's 3 compulsory weeks and you have the option to go to different places. Usually people choose different places to go to get a wider variety. You can go to hospitals, your family business, law, courts, anything. And it's really wonderful because you get to try so many different things and it's the highlight of most people's years, so it's great.
Kristen, what are the benefits of work experience?
I think it's really good because you get to learn what you want to do in the future, and you learn a few skills like communication. You get to talk to people in the office and you get contacts for the future reference, so I think it's really good.
Did you find it hard to make the transition of getting up in the morning to go to school and then to change to getting up and going to work? How did you adapt to that?
Yeah, I thought that was very difficult because some of my work experience was in places that was really far away from my house, so I'd have to get up in the morning at around 6 o'clock, get the bus, and it was very hard, and then you'd have to look well presented, so but it was really good experience.
And Gina, how did you adapt?
Well, for me it was pretty easy because my work experience started later than school actually did. The hardest part for me was probably the long hours and actually working all the way throughout the day.
Kristen, how did you feel that you helped the company or organisation that you did work experience for? How did you help them?
I don't know, I think there's a lot of cleaning involved in every company, I need to say, but I think it was a big help, and you're just sorting out files and things, and you're kind of on hand. I did a film production company, so I was on hand on set to do little jobs for everyone, so I think that was good.
Do you get feedback, Louise, from the organisation or company that you go to?
Yeah, you do. Before you go on work experience, you get a report booklet from your career guidance teacher. Our school has one and she's very on hand with us, so it's great. The employers, they fill in a report and they kind of just have to tick the box. It's based on your dress code, punctuality, attendance, effort, and then all the reports, they go to your career guidance counsellor and then to the principal. And it's great, they're kept in your record, so if you need references in years to come or applying for UCAS and stuff, they can look back for your work experience report, so it's great.
And Gina, do you think it's enough to have 3 weeks? As Louise was saying earlier, you get 3 weeks assigned. Do you think you should have a month or less? What do you think? Do you think the school should allow a month? Or?
Personally, for me, 3 weeks isn't enough. I think that's the same case for many people. 3 weeks, you could be doing one work experience for 2 weeks, which then limits you to only 2 different work placements. But I think it depends on the person themselves.
And Kristen, do you think it's a good way to get a job in the summer for when you're not in school and you're able to work?
Yeah, I think it's a good way. Personally, I worked in a restaurant for one of mine and they trained me up fully, and then they offered me a job at the end of it because I'd been trained by them. So I think it's really good, and it's a good thing to put on your CV for in the future. You can say you've worked for a week in a particular place and you've got experience in that area. So I think it's really good, yeah.
Louise, what are the negative aspects of work experience?
Well, I think very often people feel like they're more of a hindrance to the employers because sometimes you are sitting around doing nothing and then people walk by and they feel like they have to find something for you to do. So at times you feel more difficult. As well, it's often a lot of effort for the employers to constantly have you looked after because you are underage. Constantly you have to be safe and you're their responsibility for that week, so you can feel a bit of a hindrance and a bit of a difficulties. But
yeah. Gina, do you think that you need to know people to get into organisations? Do you feel that it's all about who you know, really?
Well, I don't think it is, because there's nothing stopping you applying early, and when you apply early they have nothing but to give you a place.
So, Louise, what do you feel about that?
I kind of have to disagree. Fair enough, if you do apply in second year, you might get some well-known organisation, but for me, I was not prepared in second year for work experience in transition year. So it was down to who I knew, my family, neighbours, friends. They were the ones that let me get into the places I wanted to go.
Do you think it's fair on those people that don't have, people they know?
Yeah, no, it's not fair, because you don't necessarily have to go into the family business, and then if you don't know someone in, for example, a hospital where there's a huge demand of people trying to get in, it's very difficult for you to get a work placement there, and that's unfair because you don't get to try out a doctor or a nurse, and that might be what you want. So
where did you go for experience? Did you do it?
I did do it. I went to St Michael's Hospital in Dunleary in October, and that was brilliant. So, and then I went to the criminal courts in town. I loved every minute of that. It was I was a bit apprehensive, sometimes you're walking around with criminals even though they're meant to be innocent until proven guilty, but most people don't believe that. I loved it though, and I'd definitely go back there.
So Kristen, you've said that you worked in a restaurant. Where else did you work for work experience?
I did an interior designers, and I did 2 production companies, 2 separate ones. So it was random, but it was good to see what I wanted to do, because I didn't really have a clue at all. So I have an idea now. So it was good, yeah.
Now we're going to move on to the topic of community service. Gina, have you done community service? Have you been involved in it?
Yeah, I'm involved in community service. I volunteer weekly down in Dunleary Owls Folk Association with 2 ladies named Mary and Blonid, and we just give them a hand, like making tea and serving food to the bingo players.
Kristen, recently the Friends of the Elderly has stated that TOI is a waste of time and it should be completely scrapped, and in its place should be a year of compulsory community service. What's your opinion on this? What do you think of that?
I don't really agree, because Friends of the Elderly is about helping old people, so I don't think TY students are responsible enough. You need a lot of skills to help elderly people, so I don't really agree with that, and I think it's not helping elderly people isn't what a lot of people want to do, so I think it's better that we keep TY as it is now.
Okay, thank you Louise, Gina and Kristen, and that's all for Transition Vision. Thanks.